Hello, everyone. I'm bluedragonfive. With me, that magnificent mite from down under, Magpie.
Hello.
And the always incomparable superheroenthusiast.
Hello, all.
Well, gentlemen, we're here yet again for another episode of Beware the Batman. What's our episode title, Magpie?
Broken. Well, no, it's just broken.
Enthusiast, care to give us a recap?
Well, this is the introduction of Humphrey Dumpler, also known as Humpty Dumpty, because people in comic books have real names that end up being extremely similar to their supervillain name. In this episode, Humphrey Dumpler is crazy. He is mentally broken, hence the episode title, and has launched this bizarre campaign against Commissioner Gordon, and he is trapping people. I guess we'll start at the beginning of the episode. He's trapping people in giant toy soldiers. Do we want to go from there?
Sure. Overall, well, perhaps before we really delve into it from the beginning, let's say overall what we thought about this episode. Magpie?
Oh, okay, yeah. I've only just watched it, so it's pretty fresh in my mind, and I thought it was good. I don't think it was as good as the last one, and I don't think it's the best so far. But it's right it's at the top end of the area. A bit better than what I thought the first Anarchy episode was. You know how much I thought that was not up to par. So
yeah. This one so far for me, this is either my new favorite. Again, new favorite being we're going to still get more episodes, so I can't even make a favorite declaration so far. But I'm just going to say it's between Secrets and this episode, Broken. But they both have Gordon in them. But I really like this one because it feels like a classic Batman story.
Yeah,
I love that classic feel to it, especially the opening with those toy soldiers.
I thought it was going to be the Toy Man was going to be the villain. I thought that's who it was.
Enthusiast?
My overall thoughts were, I thought it was decent. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible, just kind of in the middle. There's a lot of things I liked about it. There's some things I didn't necessarily like, but I would rate it sort of slightly above average of the limited amount of episodes that we've seen so far. So it's decent, like I said.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, now we have our overalls out of the way. Let's go into the episode.
Oh, I didn't bring overalls. Damn. You guys were supposed to let me know beforehand if there's a dress code.
Well, didn't you just get out of the Mohan Jeftic No Pants podcasts, Enthusiast? You should be prepared for these sort of things, man.
Well,
yes,
no
because
pants.
We do wear pants.
I just take my pants off. But overalls, jeez.
You should have seen the Farmer Brown episode we did. When we reviewed Critters, that's when we all wore overalls for that one. But no, in all seriousness, let's get to the.
We needed them because it was a pile of manure.
Yeah.
It was Batman and Robin.
But what do you guys think about the idea of the people being held hostage in these toy soldiers?
I thought it was kind of cool. I think it would be horrifying if you were the person inside of it.
Yeah, I don't think they did enough with that, actually. I think they could have gone further with it. I think at one point, Humpty should have captured Batman, and he should have had to figure out a way out of it.
Yeah, that's a great way to show off his escape artistry skills.
Mm.
Well, that could have been interesting. It could have been cool, but I don't know. I still like just classic Batman is going around kind of diffusing these bombs or these situations. Because I will say this, I was surprised by the ending of this episode where, well, not surprised. I heard that they were all being kept in an underground bomb shelter, like the deep subterranean bomb disposal place. At first I thought, well, Batman must have defused the bombs, but looking at it again, well, later on he learned how to defuse the bombs. You match the frequency with the frequency matching batarangs, which I loved. The
gadget guy.
I got gadgets and I got Gordon in this episode. I'm happy. I like this one.
Of Gordon and gadgets.
Yep, the 2 Gs. Just the idea of these people with that Humpty had a vendetta against each of them being put into these little toy soldiers that are also bombs. I like how that situation at the beginning just jumps right into some action. Like, first you see, what the? Toy soldiers. What the heck is this? Toyman's in this episode? I thought I was promised Humpty Dumpty. Let's go. And of course, after there's this great thing where these toy soldiers are programmed to trigger something that the bombs would go off. Like, these cops start shooting at it because it's shooting at them. I like the animation on the soldiers' arms, by the way, when they're shooting the guns. Like, works like an actual wind-up toy.
Yeah,
That's
that
cool.
was really cool.
Yeah,
I'm kind of curious where he gets these things, though.
where does he get these wonderful toys?
Yeah. Like, the Joker always puts his face on everything, and I can just imagine the Joker in, like, his lair somewhere making papier-mâché copies of his own face. But where does Humpty Dumpty get the resources for all this, I wonder?
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
remember in Dark Knight Returns, there's this character who he technically predates Humpty Dumpty, but he resembles him a lot. You know how he builds these things from scratch, and he builds bombs. Humpty Dumpty and the Humpty Dumpty look-alike, who's just a no-named large fellow, makes the exploding children in Dark Knight Returns.
Right. Does he predate Humpty Dumpty?
He predates Humpty Dumpty, from my knowledge.
Okay.
So I believe Humpty Dumpty was in the Arkham book first, if I'm correct. Could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that still he's predated by Returns, quote-unquote, Humpty Dumpty.
okay.
I thought he predated Arkham Asylum, Serious House with Serious Earth, but I'd have to look it up.
When I say Arkham, I mean the one with the shark, Living Hell.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Remember, he's
Living
that
Hell.
little Batgirl story that's in there. He's playing his origin.
Oh, you could be right there, then.
I know to me, that was
meant,
my first knowledge of him, and
I thought you meant by Arkham. I thought you meant the Grant Morrison book.
No. There was no sick egg psychology in there. But
now I want to see Egghead on the show.
It would be excellent.
It would.
It's funny, I saw something recently where Batman had this hilarious, I dropped Egghead down here. He's like giving tours in New York. And he just mentions, well, I dropped Egghead from this building over there. It was hilarious. But yeah, how do we all feel about Humpty Dumpty's betrayal?
I thought it was okay. It's kind of cool. I'm not crazy about the character design, but I mean, it looks like the character. I don't know. The show
doesn't translate well CG.
Well, I feel like the show, for some of the character designs, they go reasonably realistic, and then other ones they go crazy cartoony, and then there's just like this weird dichotomy between the two.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I don't know. This one, at first I was a little worried about because I saw like the 2D sketch of this guy. I was wondering, well, how is that going to translate to CG?
I thought it was all right. I thought it was he was kind of weird looking, so that was I thought that was a cool idea to go with.
Just looking at when he held young Barbara in his arms.
Oh, that was a creepy laugh.
I know, and yeah, it was just the way see the size of this guy's hand. We just slapped Gordon into the wall. Oh man, it was like the scale of this guy.
Humpty Dumpty is also voiced by Matt L. Jones, who plays Badger on Breaking Bad. And as soon as I heard the voice in this episode, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Badger.
How did you guys feel about the in-betweens where, Humpty would be preparing on his little board each crime?
Oh, that was spooky. I like the little spooky speeches he was doing. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was probably the best part of this episode.
Yeah, when I first saw that, because I was going into this, I knew Humpty Dumpty was going to be in the episode, and I knew he was going to be in the show. And I was thinking, I wonder what they're going to do, because I know him from that one story. The guy who puts things back together, and sometimes in a weird, demented way, or sometimes just in the wrong way. You feel bad for this guy. He's kind of
Sometimes he tries to put people back together.
Yes, like his grandmother. Well, she was horrible to him anyway. But the point is, I was curious if we were going to get, the sympathetic Humpty Dumpty, and I heard it was going to be Batman and Gordon defusing these statue bombs. That Humpty, I don't know how it was going to relate to Humpty Dumpty. I assumed he was going to smash them and put them back together, and I don't know. When I heard those in-betweens of him just reading from the old nursery rhyme, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and used to hold the king's horses, all the king's men.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I was interested to see where it was going with that. And by the end, I came upon this epiphany.
I was going to say, do you mean epiphany?
Yeah, that's the word. Silly me.
The epitome of your epiphany.
Yes! Exactly! But I came across this realization. That's better. Of the fact that, he wasn't... Basically what happened in this episode was, we had the classic Batman-Gordon meeting scene, which I love. We had one earlier where basically it's Batman that's throwing a battering saying, don't just use the jaws of light to get them out, they're bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, it shows that Gordon and him aren't on working terms, but Gordon, if someone says that's a bomb, he's going to check it out first.
Yeah, they haven't really built their relationship yet, but we're just slowly getting there one step at a time, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
I kind of like a more reluctant Gordon.
I appreciate that. It's kind of odd we're getting that with the next video game, from what I hear, with the Arkham Origins coming out.
Oh, that's cool.
They're kind of playing on that aspect also, but again, with that relationship also, now we're kind of drifting off into Batman-Gordon territory, but we'll circle back to Humpty. But the thing with Batman-Gordon, there's this moment where when he's in the office, and he's the classic Batman-Gordon meeting scene. He comes out of the shadows, says, "Well, how did you get in there?" He relays the backstory of Humphrey Dumpler, and he places blame on Gordon, saying, "When you got him blown up." Just this little twinge in Gordon's eyes, just kind of saying, "Yeah, I did."
Mm-hmm.
It's just the point, Batman's placing blame on Gordon, even though he doesn't really appreciate it. And he says, you found your way in here, you find your way out.
That was good. Gordon had a lot of good lines in this that were kind of snippy towards Batman.
Batman gets reception, but I don't.
Yeah, I like when Batman explains what he did to him, and then Gordon says, I'll be sure to put that in the suggestion box or something.
Your phone was too easy to hack into. Something along those lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's typical Batman.
But Humpty's origin in this. Just basically, I like how Batman kind of phrased it like a nursery rhyme, too. Humpty Dumpty worked for the mob. Then he...
I like when he's talking to his computer and he says, last known location of Humpty Dumpty, and the computer says, a wall.
His back computer is hilarious. Would you agree, enthusiast?
Oh, yeah.
Let me rephrase that.
I love the relationship with his back computer. It's hilarious. Richard Mall would never have that sense of humor as the back computer. But no. Anyway, I really like Humpty's origin here, that he was just this guy caught in between this war. He was a mob account, just a happy guy working with the numbers. He wasn't evil. That's classic Humpty, and not a bad guy, just, confused. He was confused, I say. A nice guy. Yeah, exactly. He was a nice guy, confused, just like, as he said, I played with my toys, and I did play with my numbers and play with my toys. And there's that moment where, the attempt by Tobias Whale on his life, and he suffered a near-death experience, and that broke him. And, well, it didn't break him, it made him crack. Pardon the egg pun. And I say that because I keep going with this egg metaphor. If Humpty Dumpty is an egg, eggs are very fragile. If they're nursed to health, watched and incubated, they're going to grow into a living being. However, you drop them or you make them into breakfast, they're going to die. It's gone. It's broken. What happens to Humpty is he he doesn't die, and he doesn't, go with the side of justice or good. Gordon, Gordon's just trying to get Tobias Whale off the street, make things safer. He doesn't go either way. He's just in the middle of this, and he gets cracked, and it drives him insane. Exactly as was stated, he's mentally broken. Again, he's cracked. He's suffered that traumatic experience, and it is shook him to his core. And he just wants revenge on these guys. Am I right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just to move it forward a bit, I like the final big battle that they have at the end, where Batman's got to find both Whale and Gordon in the midst of all these toy soldiers that he builds, and I think that's probably one of the best scenes in this. And Humpty's at the top of the castle shooting back down at him. It's an awesome scene, and I love how after Batman rescues him, he's got to go into the castle and find Humpty. It's really good.
I like kind of the stakes that there's only two people, yet there are a bunch of empties. That
Mm-hmm.
could have been, some of them could be bombs, some of them could not. It'd be nice if we saw some extra explosions in there and raise the stakes, but yeah. I would say maybe if there were more people, like innocent people in there, it could be more interesting, but I don't know, it's still just two people, and the stakes are, they can get shot by it.
Well, it's those two people that it's been building towards, Gordon and Tobias Whale.
Exactly. What did you guys think of Tobias Whale, by the way?
I really liked him. This is pretty much how I always pictured Tobias Whale looking. So.
Do you remember in Justice League Unlimited where we have a kind of a version of Tobias Whale in that?
Yeah, except they just called him Mandragora.
Mandragora is the man who killed Helena, Huntress's parent. Well, responsible for Huntress's parent's death. Yeah, they mixed him with the visual look of Tobias Whale, so they kind of mixed and matched for him.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, it's kind of interesting to point out. But yeah, Tobias Whale, it was cool. It was just this. Yeah, this is good to have some mob guys in there, kind of some Rupert Thornes and some Falcones, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like how at the end when Batman saves him, he's just like, "Screw this, I'm out of here," and he just runs off.
Will you just hurry up and get me out of here? What did you guys think of the action in this episode, particularly the scene where he's dispensing of Tobias Whale's henchmen?
That was really cool.
That
was great, Batman.
I know you're not completely sold on some of the action, Time Enthusiast. What did you think?
I quite liked it in this episode. I really liked when he was taking out all the toy soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's some really great scenes where he's like, shooting the grapple into them and swinging it around, and parts of them are smashing up the other ones, and he'll throw like an explosive batarang into one. There's like one scene that I remember where he does that, and it's like this totally awesome Batman moment. He does that while he's like flipping through the air, and then he lands, and then like there's just a beat, and then boom, the thing blows up behind him.
Yeah, I remember in that action scene with the Whale's henchmen. Well, first of all, it's a great interrogation. Also, I like the fact that Gordon warns him, stay away from Whale, Batman. This is no can do. Just thought I'd keep you informed. Again, it's not that shaky relationship between them. But yeah, the scene was just interrogating Tobias Whale, saying, Ice Pick Joe, which is a great mob name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Takes me back to Jimmy the Jazz Band.
Mm-hmm.
I love those type of names. Or the Sid the Squid. So fun. Eel O'Brien. Well, no, that's Plastic Man. Anyway, the bit where you're saying, he didn't show up for work. I thought you got him. Take care of him, legs first. Haul him out of here, legs first. It's kind of. You think that's a nod to like Cement Shoes Enthusiast, or
possibly?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. But yeah, the great moment was like, he's dispensing all these guys. And I love the kinetic energy of the fights, particularly here.
Mm.
The kinetic fight energy is always great. He's like just left and dodge and, incapacitate. And that last one with the henchman, he's like arms at both. He's like, oh, please don't hurt me. And he's like, he thinks, oh, is he gone? And Batman's just waiting for him. It's hilarious. But yeah, that ending. Did you guys think Humpty was going to commit suicide?
kid show.
I said this to you before, Blue Dragon. I thought maybe for half a second, yes, but then I remembered this wasn't Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. I'll see you in your nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
This is a kid
total
show.
fake out.
And, yeah, but I kind of saw, I kind of figured out that it was another one of those toy soldier type things. Because they had it around on one side and you couldn't see his face, and then they had it full around the camera on the other side and you couldn't see his face. So I figured, oh well, it's not really him. And then
I thought it was a great moment though, where the build to it and just basically Batman just showing this isn't just a Batman that hits things or just finds things. This is a Batman who tries to get to the bottom of it. You know, he tries to talk to the foe. It's still that Batman from the Clayface episode we liked in Batman the Animated Series. Now, it's the same universe, mind you, but still. It's just the guy who's going to try to reason with the foes. Give him a second chance. Give him a chance, I can help you. I can help you. Just stop. That sort of thing. He says, I just wanted to play with my toys. I didn't want to get involved with their war.
Well, it's kind of an interesting parallel with Batman, because he just was a kid and he didn't want to get dragged into the world of crime.
Exactly. And I'm probably stretching here, so forgive me for saying this, but there's this, when Gordon gets taken by Humpty Dumpty in that scene, that creepy scene where Humpty's just laughing.
Mm-hmm.
There's this really nice shot of Batman consoling Barbara as she's as her father's going. It kind of, again, I'm stretching for this. It kind of reminds me of when Bruce lost his parents.
I saw that too.
Yeah, it's just especially the composition, like the solo lamp from the lamppost in Crime Alley.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, yeah. I thought it was a great shot, and again, it's just kind of that. No, it's just again, it's relating it to Batman, as you said. I thought it was really, really well done. But yeah, also speaking of which, Katana Enthusiast.
Yeah,
talk about Katana Enthusiast.
Yeah, well, she wasn't in this episode a whole lot. It's just kind of her and Alfred briefly talk about the Soul Taker sword, and kind of we get a little bit more of her backstory, I guess, in this. But it's very much the B plot in this episode.
This storyline well integrated, though. I mean, it's building towards something. For we got a great name drop, Ra's al Ghul.
Mm-hmm.
I said it right.
Did they say Ra's or say Raz?
I think they said Ra's. I can't
They
remember.
said Ra's.
Yeah, I gotta love Ra's. To me, that's the right way to say it. But that's just...
I kind of wonder about, is there a parallel there with, the Soul Taker sword and, violence taking away a person's soul, and we sort of see that with what happened to Bruce Wayne and what happened to Humpty Dumpty? Or is that maybe stretching?
I don't think it's necessarily stretching. Especially, I think it connects with another episode, actually. I think it connects with the fourth one, with Katana almost taking a life. And kind of questioning, why can't I take a life?
Mm-hmm.
I think it might kind of connect to that, because that's going to come back to bite her, the fact that she didn't kill this guy. She had a chance.
Yeah.
So I think it might connect to that. But yeah, you're right about kind of the violence, and it's official. We do get some supernatural in this. We see the souls being taken by the sword. Also, briefly, I want to mention this, tying into our last episode. The real man has pointed out to me, Silver Monkey is from Batman. Is from the old Batman comics. So they did use him. I questioned if he was created if he was the first new original character for the series or one of them. And
he's from the comics. He's relatively recent, but within the past 10 years, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I thought he was familiar. I just couldn't place the name. He just felt kind of he just feels like one of those classic forgotten Batman, but one of the League of Assassin members,
Mm-hmm.
It's there are a bunch of them. I couldn't place it, but I just hypothesized. And I want to thank Manus for pointing that out, making it official. He has
an iconic look, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. It reminds me. I referenced that Brave and the Bold episode where they all don the mask. Kind of remind me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Katana was adorable in this episode, by the way, when she was like saying, "I lost my keys." That's it. To Alfred. And Alfred was great, and we had first gun use by Alfred, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, not use, but gun.
Threatening.
Yeah. While making
Don't
a
sneak up on a spy when he's making
a
a sandwich.
sandwich.
Yeah, I like how Alfred's no fool. He knows what she's looking for, and he's playing around. He's getting information. Still not revealing that Bruce is Batman yet. He's not letting Vicky Vale into the Batcave.
No.
Not this one. No, not this one.
She just screamed.
She did. You're absolutely right. Just scream.
How do you guys feel about the way guns are portrayed in this show? Because there was that talk about after the Aurora shooting, they went back and changed the look of the guns to make them look less realistic.
Yeah, we've kind of touched on that here and there, but it kind of reminds me of Firefly that it sounds when when they're shooting it that they're coming out, the bullets are coming out really fast, so it's a very similar sound, so it doesn't bother me. Like lasers and all that in cartoons never bothered me, but I'm just like it's clearly that they're with a bit more futuristic guns, so it doesn't bother me really. Yeah. If that's the way they want to go, that's fine. But they're looking a bit more realistic now than they did in the pilot. They're not like red, pink, or purple, or yellow. They're just like
Well, we had a few red ones in this episode when he's disarming the henchmen of Tobias. Well, they had red shotguns and red handguns.
Yeah, you're right. But it's clear like that that maybe that they're starting to go in that more realistic tone than what they were before.
Well, they did kill some people in this episode. Well, they killed someone in this episode.
Who did they kill?
Well, remember they killed the Soul Taker guy. His soul was taken with lifeless.
Oh yeah.
And also, I'm just assuming.
But you didn't exactly. You saw it happening, but you didn't see him drop to the floor.
Well, she said lifeless husk, so I'm.
Yeah.
Also, we kind of had an implied death in the previous episode, so technically the body counts at 2. Not that I'm not complaining. I'm saying as long as Batman didn't kill him, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Remember there was that one League of Assassins guy who failed, and Silver Monkey killed him.
Mm-hmm.
We got another Green Arrow shout out though. Star City.
Yes. Star City.
What's Starling?
Yeah. I hate that. Why is it Starling? Why just call it Star? Why you add to it? Anyway, Katana. No, I'm sorry, not Katana. Guns. Yeah.
Guns. Yeah, I'm glad that they seem to be moving away from the colors, because that just makes them look like toys, and I think that sends the wrong message.
I like how the guns are, I'll say this, they're much less, they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. I was expecting Beware the Batman. I was expecting the Batman quality guns, and I would have hated that if it was like the Batman.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They had weird guns in that show too.
Yeah, because either if it's like the Batman or if it's like the '90s Spider-Man cartoon, I would hate that because it makes no sense why they'd have these futuristic guns. That's the reason it's a problem. But also, you're excellent point, enthusiast, about making it look like toy guns, children. But
well, it's weird. It's weird to me because their reasoning is because of the Aurora shooting that then they would change the guns to make the guns seem less serious, because that sounds like the opposite message.
Yeah, for me, it's just I like these more because they're the only reason I forgive is because they're treated like real guns. As long as they're treating it like real guns, and yeah, it's just shooting a thing of light. Probably better if it was yellow, but they get blue because in Justice League, they didn't focus on bullets, but it was just like yellow bursts of light because the guns are going so fast, or it's like so energized when it shoots out.
Yeah,
it's fun, but
that's why I was comparing it to Firefly.
Yeah,
in that the bullets are moving out of the guns faster, and that's why they're more like it was more like light shooting out of it.
Exactly. You have to remember the gun constraints for the animated series by standards and practices. The whole conceit was you can't have something a kid could imitate like that. So Like, you can use Mr. Freeze's gun, and as long as Batman instantly knocks the gun out of the hand, it's fine, or as long as it's a Tommy gun.
Yeah, S&P is kind of got their heads up their butts, I think. A lot of their dictates don't really make any sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, at times they have their moments, but yeah, overall, pretty much it's always something.
You want to hear something funny, enthusiast, you should hear, like, standards and practices, it's kind of partly responsible for destroying a wrestling company because they wouldn't allow people them to call like wrestlers getting into an argument. They couldn't call each other stupid or anything like that because there might be someone in the audience who has a
mental disability.
Yeah, so
Jeez.
they couldn't do that, but there was like there was an uphill battle with that, like.
But trash talk is half of wrestling.
I'll tell you something. Yeah. I'll tell you something funny. Someone was singing on the radio once, way back when, and they had the censor on there. He would push a button and says whenever he'd say something inappropriate, and he's singing, Old Man River, singing the song Old Man River, and he starts singing Old Man River, and just you hear something. What was wrong with that? He says, well, our listeners of advancing years might find the word old offensive. Can you change it? Says, they just sing the song Elderly Man Rivers.
Oh, God.
But yeah, the gun thing again. It's I'll say I wish they would just kind of go with what the police have because they can get away with it. But the police just make the gun silver. Just either silver or black, it'll be fine. Particularly silver. I don't mind I can forgive the laser thing because again, it's just that fast, energized thing. It's treated like a real gun. When Batman disarms him, it's like a real gun. So it just looks exactly like a real gun, minus a little slit that shoots energy. And just if you fix the color, I'd be completely fine with it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I want to be clear. I think the guns actually look pretty cool, but I just don't like their reasoning for the change. Just doesn't make sense, and I don't think they should make the guns look colorful.
I'll give you the reasonings off that you shouldn't begrudge something because of something that happened in real life. Mm-hmm. I think, I don't want to sound heartless when I say that, because there is some timing, and like maybe getting rid of like a movie theater scene might have been a good move. I'll give you that. At that time, it's about timing. It's not about, you shouldn't begrudge the whole meeting like saying, okay, video games did this, but we're getting into a whole nother discussion there. I'm just going to wrap it up with that. But yeah, let me see.
We can debate that later.
No, definitely. We could go on for hours. But
or actually, not debate. We're all pretty much on the same side when it comes to that.
Well, just talk about it.
How do you think Humpty Dumpty's going to make a return?
Oh, indeed. I do.
Me too. I think he's going to come back with a complete. I hope it's a completely different plan. I hope we don't just rehash this plot. He's got some more of those Jigsaw-esque speeches that he has with the toys and all that. That was really.
Let's mention this.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah. Let's mention this. Of course, one of the things I love most about Batman is when he saves people. And he saved some people in the toy soldier get-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's this one extra who kind of gets on my nerves. I say that, I'm kidding, but I don't like his line delivery when he says, "Gee, thanks, Batman." So in the taxi cab. I think he's voiced by the same one who's doing the voice of Humphrey Dumpler.
It's funny. I actually kind of like that guy for like. But you could be right about that.
I'm just nitpicking though. I'm not.
Yeah, that's
a weird delivery.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I agree with you there.
Also, this kind of confirms that you guys are right. I was kind of in denial, but I could still be right. I don't know. The series kind of suffers from empty city syndrome.
Okay, I was going to bring that up too. Unless the car is specifically there for a reason, there are no cars in the city.
Well, it was late and it's a taxi cab. Well, then again, he had no passengers, so you're right.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Guess he's not
on his way to a job.
People in the streets either.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Well, we had two people in the streets at the very beginning.
True, but they had to be there for the story.
I know.
The script.
I don't think the series. I think the real reason is the series doesn't have budget for more characters, and they can only reuse so many animation models.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but
The
it
shit-
is
I think
weird that Gotham City is empty, which is that's always been my biggest criticism of just the concept of the Batmobile, and that is that Batman lives in the city. It's not very practical. Like even at night in a big city, there's a lot of traffic, so the motorcycle actually makes more sense because you can weave in between cars and into alleys and stuff. But
And it can fly.
Yeah. Well, in this though, the Batmobile works perfectly because apparently nobody lived in Gotham.
Yeah, that's why we don't have a Batmobile in Arkham City or Arkham Asylum
True.
that we can
true.
drive.
I hear you, but it's a
It's a nitpick.
yeah.
It's just one of those funny things you watch. It's like, where is everybody else?
Now you've ruined it for me.
I'm forgiving it.
There's no one in this city.
I'm forgiving it so far. I'm hoping it fixes itself. I'm hoping they work like the Arrow guys, where they listen to the feedback and they fix accordingly. I don't know, but let me ask you guys this. Not ask you guys. Let me tell you guys this. Remember that shot where Gordon, in the flashback, where Gordon it transitions from his glasses to when he's talking to Batman?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you guys... Humpty's on the ground. Do you think he's actually cracked, or is that just his shirt? There's like this white mark when he's like... Gordon intends to be fallen Humpty Dumpty. And it looks like there's... At first I rewatched it, I thought it was like, oh my god, that's what happened to him. He cracked. Like, I don't know, maybe he's made it of an actual egg texture. Who knows?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it to see if he's... see if he's injured.
I say it's actually... I don't know. Just rewatching it... I've rewatched it a few times because I really like it, but it's probably... it's probably just the shirt. And I think it is just the shirt. I just thought it was worth noting. Hey, maybe it could be a crack for an egg. Who knows? Something like that. But yeah,
I think you're reaching.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm reaching. Definitely. I'm reaching like Batman reached for the dummy's arm.
Yeah, but he held on to it.
He did. Good for him. Good on him.
Oh, I'm looking at the scene now. It looks like the front of his shirt, where it buttons up.
Tell me something. Can you look at the image of the reflection in Gordon's glasses?
Yeah.
What do you see on Humpty's face there? Is he scared or is he unconscious?
I really can't tell.
Yeah, I couldn't tell myself. I was thinking, that was a well-composited shot. I just wish I could see with Humpty's.
Yeah.
I think in 2D animation I'd be able to tell that, but I don't know. It's still, the textures in this show still look great, I think. You can see the glass in Gordon's glasses.
Yeah.
Cloth and stuff. Looks good.
I did think that this was a really well-directed episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of interesting how they do the flashbacks. They could focus on the character who's telling it, and then the background fades away, and then the character fades away.
Yeah.
Really. In that respect, it was a really good. Episode. I just think that there have been better ones so far.
Well, let me ask you guys this: there was a nod in this episode. There was Gordon. He was looking through his files when he was at home when Barbara was bringing him the groceries. He says, "No more salt. I like the salt. That's the best part." Something like that. He's looking through case files, and you see a picture of Lunkhead in his hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see the Lunkhead file he's going through at that moment.
Okay.
That's a callback.
Yeah, I think it's gonna... You think he was looking in for... What do you think? He just had the file handy? You think he's just looking because he thought it applied to the case? Or you think it's just gonna come into play later?
Well, you said that they kind of put something in the episode for the next one.
Well,
could be Lunkhead might be coming back for something. Possibly,
I would love that because that was my favorite scene in the Magpie, not you, Secrets episode. If that's not my favorite episode, it's this one so far. Because again, good amount of Gordon. It feels like a classic Batman tale.
Yeah,
just feels great. It feels kind of like that chemical syndicate of this show so far.
I liked the detective work in this episode, too. And that's something the show has consistently done well, is the detective Batman stuff.
Yeah, because that was the thing that a lot of people were missing out of the Nolan Batman series. So I'm glad that they kind of went back to it here.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Batman had zero detective work.
The Batman? No. It had detective work.
Yeah, fair enough. It had very little detective work, and it was either just... It didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
Well, it did. It just what it wanted to be was different.
I think it's all it had going for it. It wanted to be different. It didn't know what it wanted to be, though.
Well, Brave and the Bold was really different.
Oh, yeah, that was... They knew what they were going for different. It's just, I think the Batman was trying to be different. They didn't know what they were trying to be different for. That's a conversation for another topic, maybe a confidential topic in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe not. Yeah, I'm saying maybe, yeah. But yeah, it could, one kid in a future episode could be good. They have had these nods in there, enthusiasts, like, Daedalus and Junkyard Dog were in, the Secrets episode.
Mm-hmm.
In Alley Painting, you had the Soul Taker's sword. Now we have Ra's al Ghul's a nod, and, well, I can't say for certain what... I know what the next episode's going to be. I didn't see any nods to it yet. You know, other than that lunkhead thing.
Okay.
Well, now as we got Ra's al Ghul's name dropped, and, well, I know...
It's Metamorpho next episode, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting. Another outsider.
I'll see how that plays. I wonder if Katana's going to have a part in the story that relates to that, or if maybe Ra's is behind something. Maybe he's targeting Simon Stagg. Who knows?
It's quite possible, since, I mean, Simon Stagg is obviously from Metamorpho comics, so...
Oh, by the way, again, the gadgets, the frequency matching battering, and one of my favorites, the scanning analysis battering. I love that so much.
Yeah,
it was so cool. We just scanned the thing, and then you knew it was a bomb. Neat.
Well, do we want to just, like, each say best thing, worst thing?
Good idea.
Okay. Magpie?
Well, the best thing was when Batman went into got into Humpty's lair, and he was looking around at the toy section, and he said something. I just remember I was just looking at. He was just panning around. The camera was panning around it. And I thought that was a really good thing, and then it faded into the battle scene, because I really like the battle scene. The worst thing, though, I think was actually towards the beginning, where the police first rocked up, and I didn't like the voice acting with the police in that scene. I just, it just felt a bit off to me.
Oh, by the way, before you say yours, enthusiast, let me say this. There actually was another thing I discovered rewatching it. There was a little nod I noticed, and I don't know if this has any significance or not, but if you notice, when Batman, he is investigating Humpty Dumpty's war room, if you will. So workshop that's... Well, two nods, actually, because one, they mentioned the grandmother who, in the comics, I'm surprised he got away with this. Well, I like how they hinted at it. It's the grandmother, she gets put back together. And I'm surprised. At first I thought, okay, was he going to tie this into his, the mob got her or something? But it's like, no, she died under mysterious circumstances. The other nod, though, when he's approaching the house, that workshop, you'll notice when Batman opens the door, right behind that door, you see it real briefly, there's a picture, like a kid's drawing, we can assume is Humpty Dumpty's, of Commissioner Gordon, Lieutenant Gordon at this point, and Batman in the picture.
Ooh.
That's all you can see there. Just those two in the picture.
I'll have to go back and look for that.
It was interesting we saw that in the room, that he knew either he knew Batman was going to be there, or he knew, as maybe a little fixation with Batman also, we haven't delved into yet. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, enthusiast, your best and worst?
Best, I would have to say, either the detective work or the creepy Jigsaw-esque scenes with Humpty Dumpty. Worst, that police voice acting was not very good. I'm gonna say it was weird that the castle looked exactly like the castle that he had a toy of. Like, exactly.
Well, he goes for the details, enthusiast. The guy's crazy. He's obsessive. He does that.
And I also don't know where there are castles in the United States, but that's really not a big deal.
Well, it's on the outskirts of Gotham, remember?
Okay.
Maybe it's old land that's been refurbished. Who knows? Okay, sorry, Magpie, were you going to say something?
I think that was weird too, but I was like, oh, well, he pre-scouted out the location and he just made a model of it.
Yeah, maybe he made the toy after he found the castle.
Certainly. Okay,
that's plausible.
Let me see, oh gee. My best moment, best thing, it's hard to say, a lot of good stuff. I like it when Batman's approaching him at the end. He's just trying to, redeem him. Get him to turn himself in. But then again, I love the Batman-Gordon, the way Batman and Gordon play off each other in this episode, too. Like the phone call or the meeting in the office. I might say the office meeting is the best thing. Just okay. Yeah, I'm just going to say this, the dynamic Batman-Gordon had in this episode is probably my best thing. It's like a best thing, that meeting scene at the end between Humpty and Batman. I like how he calls him Humphrey. He stops himself and he says, Humphrey. I like that. He's just kind of, again, he's appealing to his human side.
Mm-hmm.
Worst thing, all I've really got is that annoying cab guy.
Yeah.
Really, if it's not him, then I guess maybe they could have just made a little more clear that those guys weren't defused yet. The guys in the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it makes sense, Batman, he just made enough of those to get Gordon and Tobias well out of there, then he's going to defuse the bombs. So, the bombs were defused by him. Also, what did you guys think of Gordon's line at the end of it? Is that from your vigilante book of haiku? And when he's saying, Dumpty's not a psychopath, Dumpty's still human after all. Something along those lines. When he let the bombs defuse.
Yeah, I think this is one it's going to be really tragic, and he's not going to be able to save him. I think Humpty's going to end up going over the deep end.
Yeah, and again, also I like the gadgets, and you guys know that I love gadgets, I love the Gordon stuff, and there's probably that gadget is the only negative thing I can think about, and a little clunky in some delivery with that thing at the end. The bombs being fused. It makes sense, so it's not really a nitpick even. But yeah, that's about it. I've got to say the best, worst thing. Anything else, gentlemen?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No. Okay. Well, enthusiasts, I want to thank you for joining us and hope to have you on for further installments.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Well, thank you, dear viewers, for joining us on another discussion of the show, Beware the Batman. And remember, folks, beware the Batman.
Beware!